I did it. All right. Happy November 17th. We are here for our November FabOILous workshop. We are so excited to be with you. We got Brenda and Renee, and then Miss Sherry's joining us to watch us, and hopefully we'll have some more people jump on. But we thought we would record it because with holidays, we know it gets a little busy and some may not be able to join it. And we are missing Miss Paula tonight. She wasn't feeling the best, so we send her our best healing vibes so that she'll feel better, so she can join us next month. All right, so first off, before we dive into the FabOILous workshop, just an amazing reminder that we have the Bogos going on this week. They started yesterday, and then today is a really cool, unique BOGO. We've never had one with the supplements before, so it's buy a turmeric, get an On Guard Plus free, the turmeric dual capsules, and get the On Guard Plus soft gel capsules free. So we're dealing with supplements this time today, which is awesome. They still have some of the BOGO box left, which is a really great way to get involved in getting the BOGOs in a really simple one-stop way to do it. So you can still get the BOGO if you haven't done that. Okay, so the direction we decided to take for November was to really sit and kind of ask ourselves, what do the holidays mean to you? Because I think everybody, you see, if you're on Facebook, everyone right now has the battle of, should you put your tree up early? Should you not put your tree up? Like, and there's like a divide, right? Some people are really look forward to the holidays and some people dread the holidays. And for some people, the holidays can be really a struggle. And for some people, it's the best time of the year. So they can't wait to dive into it. So we thought we would cover a little bit of how we feel about the holidays and how we incorporate the oils into our holiday season. So this is going to cover not only Thanksgiving, but also into the Christmas. So you guys can kind of be ready and prepared. So to start us off, I'm going to pass it to Miss Brenda, who's going to share some awesome perspective that she has on the holidays and tell us what she does.
Thank you. Yeah, so holidays are always quite interesting because we live about 4 hours from the rest of our family. So there's always a bunch of shuffling back and forth. And now with both kids in college, it's even more crazy because they're coming in from every direction. And so, you know, I have found for me, some of the steps that I take to incorporate oils, well, I do them every day, obviously, but during this time, it can be pretty stressful with our travel and all of that. So I don't know if many of you have heard about the Aroma Touch technique, but it's a really quick, simple application that is taught through doTERRA, and you can be certified for it. But it's also wonderful because in our books that we all have, the Modern Essentials and even the Essential Life book, it kind of goes through all of the steps for it, and it shows you how to apply the oils and what to do. Now, the way I want to talk about this really quick is there's 4 stages of it, and it utilizes the oils and the blends, and they need to be applied neat. So that just means straight oils, no dilution. And they do tell you in there, obviously, as we all know, if you apply one of them and they feel a little warm or uncomfortable, you always dilute that with the fractionated coconut oil or carrier oil. So the Aromatouch technique is really cool because it's an interaction between nature's chemistry and our neurology, and that really helps our body move from a healing state to to health. And it's created by the achieving and maintaining the balance of our systems. And the balance can really be interrupted by the high stress, the environmental toxins, and traumas, right? So for me, heightened stress. Like I said, if I told you my schedule for the week, everybody would just kind of start laughing because it's kind of crazy how many things I have lined up between now and next Sunday. So it's awesome. You can get it. I don't happen to have my little box anymore, but you can buy the Aroma Touch through doTERRA, and it comes in a little bitty box with all little 5 mLs of the 8 oils, and it comes with a card to explain how to do everything. But for most of us that are attending tonight, we all have these oils laying around. So it's really easy to I do have a massage table. If you do, that's great. If you don't, when I'm out of the area or I'm visiting the kids at college, I make them lay diagonal on the bed, and I just start applying the oils. So the first one you're going to do are balance and lavender, and they help your nervous system. They help with stress and relaxation. So and it helps you get to that rested state just by applying those. The second one, we have 2 more oils, which is the Melaleuca and the On Guard. The second system is for the immune system. It helps, the immune system mirrors that nervous system. So if we can start off by balancing that a little bit, and then we go on to, like I said, the immune system mirrors that nervous system. So if we can calm it down, we get into the immune system, we add that Melaleuca and that On Guard. And what we're really trying to do is move out if there's happens to be any, we're recorded and on a private page, so I can say infection. What we're trying to do is move that out of the system instead of pushing it deeper. Like if we don't do something for ourselves and don't try to relieve that stress, all we're doing is we're pressing that stress down and that infection down, and anything else that's bad just gets pushed down instead of pushed out and relieved by the oils, which is fabulous. The third step is with Aromatouch and Deep Blue, and that helps any pain and discomfort. Honestly, if you have your books, you can, this is really an easy process, and it's all so beautifully laid out. So you use then the Aromatouch and the Deep Blue for any pain or discomfort, because I know I hold it all right here, all totally, and then it starts to go into my back. So I love applying this. I can watch my kids from the beginning of this. They'll be with their heads down if they're home on the massage table. And of course, they have their phones right underneath their heads and the thing, they're playing with their phones. By the end of it, their phone has dropped and their head's just down and they're totally relaxed because their system's going, hello, we're gonna, calm you down and take out that stress. And now we're gonna push this Melaleuca and the On Guard into your system. And then, and it's nice because this is just a real feather light touch. That's why it's called the Aroma Touch. It's not a massage. But by applying the Deep Blue and the Aroma Touch for that pain and discomfort that we all get, like I said, with that stress, it just kind of evens it out. And then we get to that last section of wild orange and peppermint. And I don't know if you've put anybody has put those two together in their diffuser or just smell them, but I call that happy crack, peppermint and orange. I love that in my diffuser. It's kind of like it reboots my brain and it kind of gets me going. Well, that's exactly what it does for our system. So all the oils that I mentioned before, they're great because they are applied to the back. The only ones that are applied to the feet are the wild orange and the peppermint. And that is a balance. It's a rebooting. You can say that it's bringing your body back to a homeostasis, which is kind of equaling it out. And then you do apply them to the back as well. So, it's easy. You've got somebody who's really stressed out, and I don't have somebody here right now that can apply these for me. So in the morning, if I need it, I just stand here, I go, bloop, bloop. I let it slide down. I do it again with the next one. I rub in what I can, as much as I can. And, yes, it would be great to lay on the bed or on the massage table for 30 minutes to have somebody apply everything. I don't always have that luxury. So I do this. I try to do it once a week. It depends on where I'm at. And because I listen to my body really carefully, especially right now during this really stressful time. There's also, and I don't do this very much because I work with my hands a lot with the animals that we have, and in the barns, my hands are always dirty and I probably should do this more, but there's also a hand technique. And unfortunately it's not in the book, but if you do buy, well, it's not right in this section anyway. But if you do buy the Aromatouch kit, it is in there and it kind of shows you how, and there's fabulous information on doTERRA's website. I don't know if they have it in an ebook or not, but I'm pretty sure it's in some of the blogs that you can pull it up and look at it. So that's ways that I de-stress during the holidays with using my oils, and I do it for the kids. They're just finishing up with their midterms and all of that kind of stuff. And my son's been away for 3 months. So and when I was out there, I did it with him. And I could see a remarkable difference in him by doing this Aroma Touch 3 times while I was there for the week. And it just is one of those that can really help bring you around and kind of get you back into just feeling kind of normal. And don't forget that you can also take these oils, like I said, that peppermint and the orange, put them in your diffuser. It really helps bring the house to a nice upper level and helps people kind of, like I said, you know, it kind of brings my brain right back to normal. So anyway, that's kind of my stress reliever right there for the holidays. That's what I'm going to be doing, that and probably some holiday joy or On Guard in the diffuser as well. So Renee, you are up next, Missy. What do you got?
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. All right, so one of my biggest things that I have fallen in love with is doing Epsom salt baths. You can either do it by just to stress out or just to, you know, basically check out and just enjoy a couple minutes of your own time and stuff. But the best thing that you can do with Epsom salt is I grab a mason jar. So I fill it about this much of Epsom salt, and then I add some baking soda on top of it. And the reason why we do baking soda too is really, it moistens the skin. It's really soft. It just is really good for your body. And the Epsom salt for the bath itself is actually, I mean, if you put oil just straight in water, what does oil and water do? It just floats. It doesn't do anything. So when you add the Epsom salt, the oil is actually attached to the Epsom salt, which goes into your body and your system, because the Epsom salt and the baking soda is actually going into your system as well. So what I do is I just fill my mason jar up, and then I kind of take whatever oils I'm feeling that I'm needing at that particular time. A lot of it is more of relaxing. So I grab a lavender, and hang on, this is a brand new lavender. And what I do is, instead of just putting it in the water, I put it right in the jar. So I just do like 2 or 3 drops, maybe 4, depending on what I'm kind of feeling at that time. I definitely do cedarwood. I love cedarwood for more relaxing. So I add a couple more drops. This one takes a little bit longer to come out. I did 3 there. And then I kind of add balance once in a while too. So balance just kind of makes me just kind of make it a little bit more calming. So this is a really calming setting right now. Now, if you've been out shopping or cooking or anything, I love to add deep blue. The first time I thought, I'm like, really, I'm going to add deep blue, but I heard about it and I decided to try it, and it's fabulous. So that's for the sore muscles or the sore neck or anything that you have going on. I just add a couple more deep blue into here. And you can, like I said, these are all oils that are what you want to do. And if I want to do a little bit of a gentle detox, I add coriander as well onto it. So if I got all my oils, close it up, shake it up a little bit, make sure, you know, I get my water going, it's warm, it's hot, you know, lukewarm, hot, however you want your bath. And then just start sprinkling this all over in your bath before you go into the bath. And just sit back, shut the lights off, turn on either a night light or tea lights or something, and just get a really calming area of just relaxation and just sink in and not worry about anything for 15-20 minutes. There you go. That's my self-care tip that I love to do. Oh, we have a question. Do you use that whole jar for one bath? Yes, I do. I use all of it for one bath.
Awesome. Okay. I'm always unsure how much to use. Like sometimes I'll just use like, you know, I've read some things that say like put a couple tablespoons in, and some things I'll say put a full cup. But like I've made those for gifts, and then like I like to, you know, try to put it in a bigger jar so they have like 2 uses. So what size jar is that?
This is, I mean, mean, it's just like your regular.
Like, is it a pint jar or
Yes.
a jar? It's a pint.
No, it's not a quart. It's a pint.
It's a pint jar. Okay.
So yeah.
That helps perspective wise. Okay.
Yeah. So usually I do about, for the baking soda, I usually do about a half a cup of baking soda, and then about either 3/4 cup of Epsom salt.
Okay. So am I understanding for you for like holidays is kind of stressful too? Is like, that's why you kind of need to de-stress in that way too?
Yeah, and it just kind of, makes you, because everybody needs to sleep. If we don't get sleep,
True.
we don't go very much further the next day. So this calms you for a great night's sleep.
I like that. I like that. Well, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about stress with holidays, but my perspective of things is sometimes a little bit more of the sadness for me, because I actually have my kids that go, sometimes they're with me for the holiday and sometimes they're with their dad. And so sometimes I have to spend holidays like by myself. So for me, or I get invited to places where maybe it's not what I'm used to for Thanksgiving. I don't know the food or the traditions, right? So it's a little unsteady in that way. So for Thanksgiving, where I want to start with for sure to talk about 2 different oils that you can pull out and use during Thanksgiving. For those of you, I believe it's sold out right now, but for those of you that were able to get Harvest Spice, this oil blend is the oil blend of belonging. And, if you are like me, maybe you get invited to somebody's house for a holiday and you're not really sure where you fit in, right? You may need to utilize this to kind of help you feel a little bit more like you belong. Or if you're somebody who maybe during the holidays, you just kind of hide out and you kind of withdraw and you kind of go in, this can help you feel a little bit more connected to people. It can make you feel a little bit more grateful, giving, all of those type of things. The oils that are in this blend, can I just tell you, you're going to want to add it to your tea or your hot chocolate. It's just, or your apple cider. Oh my goodness. Okay, here's the list. So in here is Kasha, which is a cousin of the cinnamon family, clove, eucalyptus, cedarwood, nutmeg, and cinnamon bark. So it is absolutely just very, very, very soothing, calming, that spiciness that we look for. I mean, you could add a couple drops of this even to your pumpkin pie filling, and it would blend right in. If you ran out of pumpkin spice, if you wanted to make yourself a pumpkin chai, right? Add a couple drops of Harvest Spice to it, or just diffuse it. One of the things that I've done this time of year is to just, my spray bottle for my room is just water, and I put, you can kind of see the top of it, it floats along the top is the oil, and I just shake it up before I spray it. And then this allows me to change up my scent for my room deodorizer with the seasons. So right now we are Harvest Spicy and cinnamony in that way. So Harvest Spice, the oil of belonging, this also can kind of help you feel a little bit less disconnected if that is the situation that you're in. If you wanted to do, like I've seen some families over Thanksgiving time, they do some really cool gratitude trees. My kids and I have done this where we cut out pictures of leaves and then we write on the leaves what we're grateful for, and we kind of create the tree. This oil of gratitude emotionally is actually called spikenard. So if you have spikenard, you can tap into that, stimulating that grateful feeling in that way by diffusing this one, or putting it maybe as a room deodorizer, like we mentioned, or even just putting it on, if you are getting fancy with your Thanksgiving, you could put a drop on the place card holders, like around your table with a little bit of spikenard. This is the oil of gratitude. So if you are struggling with being around family, I heard a really interesting quote that was on the podcast I was listening to, where it said, if you are going to a family reunion and not excited about it, it might be because you're doing what you think you should do as opposed to what you really want to do. For some of us, we may rather spend the holidays with friends instead of family, but we feel obligated to spend it around family. Sometimes there's tension or bad relationships. So there are some really great oils that you could either be using, applying, if you are the one hosting, diffusing, to kind of help set the tone for either Thanksgiving dinner, Christmas dinner, any gift exchange times, things like that you could incorporate. So one of them is Holiday Joy. Holiday Joy, it helps kind of bring back that, remember that it is a celebration. This is why we're getting together, is to have fun and bring back, it's the reason for the season kind of thing. It's to be together and remember that. And it helps to, minimize the stress. If you have family that's estranged, maybe and struggling in that way, it's a great thing. You could be misting in your Christmas cards too. Really great thing to kind of help bring that feeling back in there. Back in the day, they used to spray perfume in their letters to the soldiers. So just share some oily love in your Christmas cards with Holiday Joy and just spread that around. But you could mist it around the home too in that way. This is really cinnamony in the same way too. It's warm. There's a little bit more of a citrusy twist to this one. So this has Siberian fir, wild orange, clove, cinnamon, cassia. You're seeing the cinnamon and cassia again, and nutmeg as well, and clove. So it has that spicy base, but this one also has Douglas fir and vanilla in it. So it's a little bit different than the harvest spice. But yes, it definitely helps to kind of bring back that warm, homey feeling if that is what you're wanting to invoke and kind of keep the stress and the tension down in the family gathering. The other piece of this too is, I think we all remember, if you have kids, right, that quiet time after you've put the gifts out, right, and all the gifts are under the tree, and the tree is just lit and it's quiet and they're all in bed. How many of you guys just sat there on the couch and were like, just enjoy that peaceful moment right there? That is, I think, the contemplation, the reminder of what it feels like to be giving, and the whole piece of the culmination building up to it kind of climaxes, and you can just kind of sit and relax right in that moment. And the oil that automatically I think of in that time is Holiday Peace. It is one gigantic Christmas tree. 100%. It is amazing. It has Siberian fir, Douglas fir, Himalayan fir, and then it also has grapefruit, frankincense, 'tis the season, and vetiver. So you get that really earthy smell in there too. It is a great one for, like I said, after you've been busy, you maybe feel completely scattered. Maybe you're so depleted after all of the chaos of wrapping presents and getting everything out and all of that. It helps you to kind of start to really relax, get kind of regrounded in that way, and get a little bit more peaceful, hence the name Holiday Peace. So these are some great holiday oils to be able to pull out that, where they have them for a reason. That's one of the things we've discovered with the common blends like Breathe, Deep Blue, Digestion, On Guard. doTERRA is very methodical in how they create their blends, and these holiday blends are no different. So if you are, finding stress, feeling worn out, hectic, chaotic during the season, tap into your holiday blends. And if you don't have any of them, you can always go back to some of the other basic ones. Like the girls mentioned, Renee and Brenda both mentioned balance. Balance is very calming stress oil. Past tense, if you're carrying your tension, carrying too many shopping bags, right? Maybe you're traveling in for the holidays. For a lot of people, holidays require traveling. Past tense can be a great one. And one more reminder is the adaptive oil blend. They have the mist, the calming mist of the adaptive oil blend in the holiday catalog. I did this for a stocking stuffer because my daughter struggles with anxiety. So this is a great thing for her to be able to just mist in her car, or, mist in her, if she's traveling in that, or anywhere. It is just the perfect soothing blend in that way. So the adaptive mist in that way is another thing to throw in if holidays mean stress to you. Okay, so we want to take one more loop around the idea of holidays, and kind of, instead of focusing on moods of holidays, we want to wrap a little bit more about practicality of using the oils in practical ways for the holidays. So Brenna's going to hit us off with some other ideas of how she practically uses the oils during the holiday instead of just for the emotional side.
Thank you. So I do want to say too, you know, we're all big at putting everything in our diffusers, but don't forget when you apply it to yourself, you're a human diffuser.
Yeah.
So on that Black Friday, take that past tense and put it on, because it's not only going to calm you down and your muscles, but it will calm people down that are around you. I have been, and I use this all the time because it just amazed me. My son both of my kids played lacrosse in high school, and I would take it and I would put it on when I would start to get anxious, especially because my daughter was a goalie. And I would have everybody around me go, I mean, we were just cheering and people were just getting real mouthy and everything. I swear to God, they would come down about 10 notches after I put that on, and they'd all be like, oh, you smelled so good. Well, then they started to realize what was happening, and they're like, yeah, you need to put that on. We're getting too worked. They're getting too worked. You need to put that on. So remember that during the holidays, you might have a house full and somebody's driving you nuts. Look at your oils. If everybody's totally stressed out, look at your oils. You can put them on you. And again, give somebody a big hug, because they're going to take that in and it will calm them down. And so I know my parents aren't going to watch this, so I'm going to say this real quick. Neither one can smell or taste anything anymore because of different ailments. This daughter puts those kind of things in the diffuser that I know is going to take them down a notch or help with this or help with that. So if you know that people are coming to your house and that anxiety is going to be huge, don't forget diffuser and on yourself, because it helps a ton.
And
so,
it doesn't matter if they can smell it or not.
Exactly. It just, your body just knows that chemistry is there. I mean, it just, you know, like Amy has said before in that movie, Stink, is it Stink? When you smell it, it becomes part of you. They can't smell it, but it's still going through their olfactory and it's still becoming a part of them. So kind of remember that that's why, you know, people get so excited when they come in and smell a bread baking or a pie. So with that, I'm going to go about how I use oils in my day-to-day life and throughout the holidays. So today, you've all noticed that I've been drinking my cup. When I'm starting to feel a little because it's, you know, for Sherry, that you're here in Northern Michigan with me. Amy's over in Wisconsin. Polly, I'm thinking you must be in Arizona. Renee's in Arizona. We're at a change of season. It goes from 32 degrees up to 60 degrees and back and forth and and I'm outside, I get wet hair, whatever. So what I do is I take my coffee or my teacup and I go to make my tea. While my water is getting hot, I make myself a nice little toddy. I put honey in it, and local honey, because that's the best for your immune system too. On guard, here we are again, right? All the cinnamons, all the wonderful stuff, the oranges, all of that are in this that Amy has talked about. I put, you know, when I started, I could only put 1 drop in here, and it was like, oh my gosh, I'm up to 3 drops, putting it right on top of my honey. And then to make life even a little bit sweeter, a little bit of Crown. And I put it in, I mix it all up, put my tea bag in, I let it steep for a few minutes, and it helps my throat, it helps my chest. It just kind of takes that little edge off when I'm starting to feel a little So that's one of the ways that I use it. Also, starting December 1st with our holiday line that they've come out with. I don't know how many of you have gotten the the holiday or the baking line that they had.
That one doesn't come available till December 1st, the baking.
No, but the cuisine line, yeah.
With
So
the
they're calling
Mexican,
this part of that.
tropical, and Italian ones.
Yeah, so they're calling this the baking cuisine oil. So in it is the new baking spice cuisine blend is what they're calling it. It's ginger, cardamom, clove, cinnamon, and nutmeg. So it's not, like I said, it doesn't come out until December 1st, so I don't have it to show you. But there's so many wonderful uses, and it comes in a little kit, and it has a little oil drop from doTERRA. That's a new cookie cutter. And so I was thinking as I'm writing and going through all of this, ginger snap cookies with a drop of that and an extra drop of our ginger. You put crystallized ginger, ground ginger, that ginger. Yeah, you're going to have an amazing cookie, molasses cookie with all of that. Just plain sugar cookies. I would do this and maybe a drop of orange in some glaze and make some glazed sugar cookies. That would be, I'm going to try those. And then Annie had mentioned putting some of these oils in your pies. This one has everything that our allspice has in it. So if you get this, I would definitely use, it says up to 8 drops. In a pie, I would probably do 8 drops. I don't think that would be a deterrent at all for 8. Cookies, I make a great pumpkin spice cookie. This would be great in there because I already put in my ginger, clove, and cinnamon and a dash of nutmeg. So I'm just going to add this straight to it. And I love cardamom. I don't know many people our age that love cardamom, but it is one of my favorite that I put in some of my breads. And I will be using this in a couple of my like brioche kind of breads to see how that also comes through. You can use it in your spice lattes, your pumpkin spice lattes, in coffees. There's just so much that you can do with just this. And I don't know how many of you are aware, but when you're on your doTERRA account, if you scroll down to the bottom, there's a little button all the way at the bottom that says ebooks. If you go to ebooks, they have a whole cookbook that's coming out with just this oil and for holiday stuff. I don't think it's going to be completely released until December 1st because I have not been able to pull it fully up. It just kind of gives you a little flash of what it's going to be. So December 1st, check that out because it's a pretty cool book. Just from what I could see, it had donuts and it showed you how to make the filling and everything. So yeah, that really kind of piqued my interest a little bit. But so those are just some of the things that you can do. I use them in so many things with cooking. Like I could go on and on and on about how I use oils with my cooking and my baking, but I wanted to focus on that new baking spice cuisine blend because I think it's going to be such a wonderful addition to all of our oils. So Miss Renee, you are up next, Vanna.
Hi. Okay. I was just looking and it's actually loaded.
Oh, maybe it was just on my phone.
Yeah. So it's
Get it on your computer because I was going to check it and I didn't get a chance to, but I was getting all googly gop like code. I wasn't getting actual recipes and stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's loading right now on my phone. So yeah, I was looking at it. So, I mean, it might be releasing soon. Okay, so I'm going to piggyback off of Brenda's hot toddies a little bit because I am in Arizona, as she said. We're just finally getting a little bit of cooler weather. So now we can really crack open the hot cocos and all the cozy drinks that we want to drink, but it's always too hot here to drink them. So I have always been a big hot cocoa drinker. Apple cider or chai teas are my favorite right now. And what I love to do is spice them up a little bit. We know we love our hot cocos. We always put some kind of like maybe a peppermint stick or a cinnamon stick or something in there. But now instead of doing that, grab your oils, guys. We have oils to really spice up your hot cocoa. So right now I have a hot, glass of hot cocoa right here. And one of the things I really love to do is add peppermint. It just spices it up, gives it another flavor, and you get all that natural flavoring for you, and you get the benefits of it as well. So, I mean, as what Brenda talked about before is, you can only do one because it's pretty potent, but I'm up to 2, 3 on peppermint as well. I just love that strong flavor. It just really kicks up the spice in it as well. And you can actually add a little, you know, alcohol beverage in here as well on top of the peppermint. You do you, I do me too. And I'd love to add a little bit of everything into it just to enjoy it a little bit. Another thing that you can do too is if you're not 100% sure that a drop is going to be too much for you, the best trick to do is grab a toothpick. And what you do is you actually stick it into the oil, flip it upside down, get the toothpick wet on it, and then swirl it around into your baking, whatever you're doing, your hot cocoa, because when you put a drop in or 2 drops, and if it's too much and you can't drink it, you're going to waste it. But if you do a toothpick, you can keep adding more and more into it until you get to that consistency of flavoring that you like. So that's another little trick that you can do, because it is kind of, you know, sometimes oils do get a little strong for you. Another great one is Kasha, which is, now, I don't know if you guys really know the difference between cinnamon and Kasha. Amy touched on it and said, you know, it was a cousin of each other. So cinnamon bark actually is the bark of the cinnamon. Kasha is the cinnamon sticks part of what the inside of the cinnamon stick. So it's a little bit more calmer than cinnamon bark. So there's a couple more options for your hot cocoa. But now I love my chai. So chai tea, as I've been drinking it tonight, the new one I'm loving to add is the Madagascar vanilla. It has been brought as such a great treat to add into this. You can also add your cinnamons into it, harvest spice. I didn't even think about that with harvest spice, Amy. That was fabulous. I didn't even think about putting that in any of this. So there's just, be creative, guys. There's so many oils that you can just have a smorgasbord, and especially when you're having people over and you're doing like a hot cocoa bar, have the oils out there, have everybody kind of put what they want. And it's a great opportunity to get people to enjoy oils with you, because it's a really great way to spice up and get all the natural benefits for you in there. So now I'm going to move on to something different. So, you know, flowers are kind of my happy place as well. I love flowers. They don't have to be from the, you know, they can be from a grocery store. They can be from the hardware store, not the hardware store, but Home Depot or whatever. They can be from anywhere. I just love flowers, but I'd love to preserve them and make sure that I get the longest life out of them. And during the holidays, it seems like we do get a lot of flowers. People from out of state send you a beautiful bouquet, and then you can see it starts getting droopy, and just really bad at not lasting. And even if the flowers have that little foam inside of it, the best thing we have tricks for. Now I'm going to show you. Now these are flowers that I got that are a week old. And they were just from a grocery store, a week old, from a girlfriend of mine. And I go ahead and change out the water. I clip the bottom of the flower stems, and there's 2 oils. If you really want to grab the life, sorry, I was reading the question there. You can add tea tree or Melaleuca, depending on what bottle you have. It's either Melaleuca or tea tree, and you add 2 or 3 drops into the water each time you change the water out. Now, I wasn't faithful in changing this out every day. I was probably every 2 or 3 days, but look they're still fabulous. And the reason why is because I was adding oils to the water, and I was opening up the bottom of, clipping the bottoms, which is opening up, and it goes back into the stem. Another great oil, which I was using, is Ddr Prime. This oil, which a lot of people don't have Ddr Prime, but if you do have it, this one does flowers wonders. So what I was talking about earlier is when you do get the bouquets that have the foam inside, and you know, you can't really put drops on the foam. So what you do is you put drop in your water, and then you put it over the foam, so it's actually going into the flowers itself. So there you go, guys. There's my little tip to keep the holiday flowers going.
I was just typing on there, the DDR Prime bottle that you were displaying is the 30 milliliter that they used to
I know
have.
it's a big one.
Yeah, so I just wanted people to be like, I was looking for that bottle, but I can't find it. So it's in a 15 ml now. They made it smaller, so you'll be looking for the same thing in just like the other sizes. So, but yes, that is a great one to have on hand. Is the DDR Prime for the flowers? I've heard that before in the Melaleuca. I like all the tips because I have my set of flowers back here on the table, and I need to change and refresh the water just like that. So I'm gonna add my oils to it.
Thanks, ladies, because now tomorrow when I'm out, I'm going to buy flowers.
Oh yes. I have to say, if you have a Trader Joe's by you, I always get their $3.99 bouquets. So
That's where they came from.
2 hours, 2 hours.
live closer, live closer. All right, I'm going to touch on a couple other really quick handy tips as you're going into the holidays with oils. I am fully liking all of the stuff that we're having. So it's like a grab bag. You can figure out what you like and what works for you. Now, if you are somebody like me, jumping off of the flowers aspect, and I don't get a real tree. And I miss my real tree smell. So this is a great time for your oils, honestly. And there's multiple ways and multiple oils you could use to help if you have an artificial tree but miss that smell, to help bring that back. So let's talk about a couple oil options, and then we'll talk about how you can incorporate it into the tree. So the first one, obviously, is Siberian fir. This is an amazing tree, just straight up fir tree smell. So you can't get any more tree than that. So this is an easy go-to one. Another option is the Douglas fir. And this one's a little bit more sweeter. It's got a little bit, in my mind, it's a little bit like honey. It's from the younger trees of the Douglas fir. So these are two very obvious tree oil scents, just single oils in that way. Now, you could be super strategic in choosing which oil you want to put as your artificial tree smeller. If you wanted to impact moods again, I like to talk about moods. So Siberian fir, again, if you're kind of having people who are maybe it's a heavy-hearted Christmas because all of your kids are grown and gone, and you're fretting over the past, and you're kind of sad and grieving that shift. Siberian fir is a great one for that. If you have a family coming over and you have like generational, always having family issues at the holidays, Douglas fir is a great one for that one. So you can incorporate that one as your artificial tree smell. All right, two other options. They had an oil blend this year called Midnight Forest. If you were able to partake of this one, this is a really great one that actually covers, let me see if I can read the label.
Amy, while you're reading that label, remember that where Amy's getting all this information is out of the emotions book.
Oh, yes.
I mean, she knows it. I mean, that's a given, right? But that's the one that we always go back to.
Yes, thank you for that. I always forget to show the book. So Midnight Forest, which actually in the holiday catalog, they have this as an aftershave lotion and a body wash too. I'm not sure if it's sold out yet or not, but I think it's still available. But this scent in oil contains cypress, juniper berries. So again, you're getting that juniper smell tree, the cypress tree, black spruce, wild orange frankincense, meadow, and cistus, caraway. And then there's another one in here. My readers.
The combination pack is gone.
The combination pack is?
Yeah, and I think one
individuals.
They have one of the individuals, the other one, the body wash is, I think, coming out
December. Yeah. I'm waiting for that one because my son has a request for that for his stockings. So, because it does have more of a manly smell in that way too. So it's a really good gift in that way for, that manly body wash. Anyways, tree, Midnight Forest, artificial tree smell. Okay, the last one for artificial tree smell that I suggest is Northern Escape. This is actually one of my favorites. So for the two blends, I got it on my notes, which is a good thing because it's my favorite. It's kind of like Northern Escape covers if you're unstable, maybe burned out, like you're completely frazzled. Northern Escape is going to really kind of soothe you, calm you down. Midnight Forest is, if you're really feeling conflicted or maybe even super irritable on the verge of aggressiveness, Midnight Forest is going to help kind of calm that down. So again, you have artificial tree scent options. Now, how do you put them in your tree? Well, we know that you can help your tree. She just shared with us, how you extend the life of your flowers. These is how you can extend the life of your tree. If you do have a real tree, right, you could add these into the water of the tree to help that, right, just be emulating almost like its own diffuser in that way. Or they have these really cool ceramic, doTERRA puts these out once in a while in the past, or you can get that clay. This is just a clay, and it becomes its own diffuser. So you put, sorry, my string on it, it's gone. So you can actually just put a drop or two of the oils on here, and it just absorbs in, and you hang this in your tree and it diffuses like that. Otherwise, you could also just do the water mist, like I was saying, for the room deodorizer, and just mist your tree down with whatever your tree smell is that year, or that day. Maybe you want to rotate it out, or obviously, like we've discussed before, just plug your diffuser in right by your tree, and people will think it is the tree that is putting off the smell, and it's really your smelly tree oils in the diffuser. That is another option. The last thing that I want to touch on is, when I think of the holidays, I always think of giving. Whether it's Thanksgiving or Christmas, I always think of giving. And one of the best gifts that I have ever given to myself, my family, and my friends in my whole life has been the oils. I have seen how it has changed their life over and over and over again, whether that be for physical ailments, whether it's been for emotional support, whether it's just been helping them to feel uplifted and happy. I absolutely love giving oils as gifts. And there's some really great items in the holiday catalog, even to incorporate for the men. They have the beard oils, which I'm secretly got for myself because I don't have a man in my life that's shaving currently. But it's kind of nice because I'm gonna use them as aftershave for after I shave my legs and treat myself in that way. So, but they also have like the dark chocolate. We've talked about, some of the other holiday catalog items. If you can easily, sorry, I got teary-eyed thinking about giving the gifts of the oils because they really are the best. And if you didn't know, that's what doTERRA means, gifts of the earth. And that's really what these are, is just the best gifts ever. So look at the idea of making Epsom salts to give to teachers or to your postman, like a foot soak out of the oils and stuff to give to your postman. I mean, it's really the simplest things to do this season, that you can incorporate the oils in so many ways to really just give back to people the same blessings that you enjoy from the oils and help them to feel a little better and get a little pick-me-up. That is what I got. Do you ladies want to add anything else onto this?
No, I don't think so. I think we did a good job at covering.
I think we covered a lot. Polly, you're there. I know you're halfway listening. If there's any questions or any comments you got, we'd love to hear from you. I know you're kind of probably half doing stuff and listening, but we're glad you're here. We did record this, so hopefully some people will, yes, you're welcome, Polly. We'll be able to re-listen to this. To wrap this up, I wanted to make sure that we talk about what we have coming up next month, because you're gonna not want to miss out next month. So next month, we are actually going to be covering cleanses, detoxification, and cleansing as we prepare for the new year and kind of resetting the body. We're going to be talking about cleanses, and we're going to have some new, fun, surprising, exciting information that we're going to share with you on some new stuff that all of us ladies have been working on and excited to launch with you guys in January. So you're going to want to check us out. We will be doing the workshop, recording it previously because of holiday time frame and chaos, but we will be putting it out for you guys to watch in December. So definitely watch for the recording, check it out, and we can't wait to share all of the goodies with you. I hope, and I know these ladies hope on behalf of us, that you guys have a very happy holiday season and that you are all blessed and well. Love you guys.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.